So, what did your therapist say, Perky?
She said, I have come a long way.
Cool. So, you will be finishing therapy soon.
She also said, I have a long way to go. I am hanging in the middle.
When we talk of treatment of a medical issue, we often think of a time period for which one would need to be under medical supervision and then would have fully recovered. What we often forget is that not all medical diseases are caused by factors that can be completely removed from the body, like a virus, bacteria, or an appendix. The chronic and lifestyle-related diseases that we see today can be effectively managed with medicines, but rarely would it reverse the pathology. In mental disorders, we are still lucky that the brain can relearn, but it's a slow process. So treatment occurs as a collaboration between the doctor and the client. Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Kapoor and we are at Manasthali, where mind meets matter, learning how to lift the pall of gloom and then keep it away. We often hear the word antidepressant, and like depression, it's also used as a blanket term for all the medicines prescribed for mental illnesses by psychiatrists. But language is perhaps the poorest form of communication. Strange, huh? The medicines given for treatment are based on monoamine hypothesis, which means that depression occurs due to deficiency of monoamine neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine in the brain. But it's not as simple as that. The imbalance of neurotransmitters affects several functions of the brain, which is why when depression strikes, it's not just sadness that one suffers from, but there can be sleep and appetite issues, gastric problems, fatigue, weakness, anxiety, irritability, and so on and so forth. Therefore, when you visit your psychiatrist, a symptom-based treatment approach is given. But gradually, as the underlying condition improves, the additional medicines for sleep and anxiety, etc., are withdrawn. The commonly prescribed medicines are SSRIs. It's a class of medicines which increase the level of serotonin in synapses in the brain and improve sense of well-being. These medicines gradually restore balance of happy chemicals and are generally used for long-term. They are not dependence-producing. Other drugs used as antidepressants can work on various other neurotransmitters other than serotonin, like SNRIs, NIRIs, TCAs, etc. Benzodiazepines. It's a class of drugs which helps with relaxation, and these reduces anxiety and sleep issues. Once symptoms subside, these medicines are withdrawn to avoid dependence. Anticonvulsants. This class of medicines have a mood-stabilizing effect and are given in cases where depression is associated with mood swings. Unlike what the name suggests, these are not only used for treatment of epilepsy, but also for various psychiatric issues. These are also not addictive drugs. Augmenting agents. Sometimes additional medicines that work on other neurotransmitters like dopamine, glutamine, etc. are added to enhance the effect of antidepressants. Newer drugs like esketamine that do not work through traditional neurotransmitter action are being developed and researched for better response and side effects. Psychotherapy. Many clients are afraid to start taking medicines for depressive disorders because of various doubts and myths related to side effects and potential addiction. These patients often ask for other treatment modalities. Psychotherapy is a well-researched treatment modality for depressive conditions, but one needs to understand its limitations and scope. Psychotherapy, or talk therapy as some call it, is not just talking or counseling. It's a structured approach that allows for patients to explore the thought patterns, to understand why they feel sad or depressed, and how to change those patterns. The well-known terms used in psychotherapy jargon are CBT, DBT, interpersonal therapy, psychodynamic psychotherapy, etc. But it's a long process which takes time and effort. The ability to develop rapport with the therapist requires a certain psychological mindedness, which may be difficult when one is in acute depressive state. The lack of motivation and will to make a change poses a big challenge in starting the process of therapy, and the lack of improvement over weeks makes the experience frustrating. There is also the issue of time and money. A qualified therapist needs to dedicate as long as an hour or even more initially on a regular basis, like 1 to 3 times a week. This obviously has to be accordingly charged, and many clients are reluctant to spend on themselves, especially because they themselves have to also do the hard work of getting better. The response is slow, and many people have work and family responsibilities and therefore find it hard to give that kind of time for the process to occur effectively. Many a times, the resistance is high and expectations are unrealistic, which make one's receptivity to therapy low. The lifestyle and schedules are the exact thing people are suffering from when they have depression. And when they are asked to make such efforts without medicines, helping them sleep better or feel better, the stress may initially worsen the symptoms and cause the suffering to increase. Therefore, in most circumstances, psychotherapy is started along with medicine for optimum response and treatment adherence. Neuromodulation. Neuromodulation is the alteration of nerve activity through targeted delivery of a stimulus, such as an electrical stimulus or a chemical agent, to specific neurological sites in body. It's carried out to normalize or modulate nervous tissue function. I know I'm using terminologies that might sound a little tough and very clinically oriented, but I know that most people out there are going through Google searches and trying to locate treatments. Here I will clarify some of the things that have been there on the internet for a long time but have gone into disrepute. The initial treatment of options of neuromodulation came in disrepute with Hollywood's dramatization of mental health asylums and the horrific depiction of electroconvulsive therapies, also called ECTs. In our post-graduation days, I have myself administered ECTs, and there is no horror involved in the process. And response to treatment, especially in suicidal cases, is fast with minimal side effects. But the impact of media depiction has made both patients and doctors wary of this treatment option. The focus has thus shifted to other so-called milder and safer options where neural activation is achieved through magnetic fields, as in RTMS. Few other modalities have been developed but are not widely available in India.